All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am V. Ravi Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Conference on Academic Leadership on Education for Resurgence in New Delhi this morning. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj to address the United Nations General Assembly in New York today. Government cuts gross borrowing estimate for current fiscal by 70,000 crore rupees. Centre releases first installment of 122 crore rupees to rain and snowfall hit Himachal Pradesh for immediate rehabilitation. And in cricket, India lift Asia Cup for the 7th time, beat Bangladesh by 3 wickets on the final ball. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Conference on Academic Leadership on Education for Resurgence in New Delhi today. Our correspondent reports that vice-chancellors and directors from more than 350 universities will participate in the day-long meeting.
The conference will deliberate on the challenges being faced by the education system and work out a plan for a paradigm shift both in terms of achieving academic outcomes and also in regulation of education. The meeting is in continuation to the efforts being made by the government for evolving an action plan for transformation of the higher education sector. The conference will have different sessions like improving pedagogy for learner-centric education, use of artificial intelligence for customized learning, and improving innovation and entrepreneurship for job creation. The valedictory session will be chaired by HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar. With Shashank Kumar's report, Swati Rakheja, AIR News, Delhi.
The Prime Minister will interact with BJP workers of Bilaspur, Basti, Dhanbad, Chittorgarh and Mandsaur parliamentary constituencies under the Mera Booth Sabse Mazboot Samvad program through video conferencing today. The interaction will be available on the Narendra Modi app from 4:30 p.m. Earlier, Mr. Modi had interacted with BJP workers of Arunachal West, Ghaziabad, Hazaribagh, Jaipur Rural and Nawada parliamentary constituencies. The 3-day Parakram Parv is being celebrated to mark the second anniversary of surgical strikes carried by the Indian Army across the line of control. The main event, being held at the India Gate lawns in the national capital, was inaugurated by Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman last evening. Speaking on the occasion, Mrs. Sitharaman said,
"The night of 28th and 29th, Indian Armed Forces proved to this world that there is a very clear way in which we will show our strength to say that we shall not tolerate terrorists coming in the garb of intruders and creating havoc at our borders. All the terrorist pads were cleared off, and those who were wanting to spread terror have been adequately punished. इसीलिए हम पराक्रम पर्व मना रहे."
Our correspondent reports that school children, NCC cadets and jawans were among those present at the event in large numbers.
At the inauguration of the event, a song written by Prasoon Joshi and sung by Kailash Kher was unveiled.
मेरा देश मेरी जान है, मेरा गर्व है, अभिमान है, और ये अभिमान है जिंदा क्योंकि सीमा पर वीर जवान है। चलो
Noted singers and military band are scheduled to perform at the venue on all the days of the Parv as part of the cultural performances. Movies and photographs depicting valor and courage of the armed forces are being showcased during the event. Visitors will get the opportunity to see captured weapons used by terrorists that have been brought from Jammu and Kashmir. Military equipment like artillery guns and small arms are also on display. With Divakar Kumar, Suparna Sekya, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated a 3-day exhibition Parakram Parv at Jodhpur Military Station. The exhibition is showcasing the might of Indian Armed Forces and their contribution to nation building. 53 locations in 51 cities across the country will also be showcasing the events, highlighting the valor of the armed forces in general and special forces in particular. Economic Affairs Secretary S.C. Garg has announced a reduction in gross borrowing estimate for the current fiscal by 70,000 crore rupees and maintained that the government will contain fiscal deficit target at 3.3%. Giving details about the borrowing programs for the second half of the fiscal, Mr. Garg said, the government would be borrowing around 2,50,000 crore rupees as compared to 2,88,000 crore rupees during April to September of 2018-2019. The Secretary said the centre will also launch inflation index bonds, adding that 1 or 2 bond issues will come in the current fiscal. The centre has released 122 crore rupees as the first installment to Himachal Pradesh to undertake immediate rehabilitation measures in the wake of heavy rain and snowfall. Presiding over a meeting of state officials, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said the state suffered a loss of around 1,500 crore rupees during the current monsoon season. He said several roads were damaged and water and power supply disrupted due to landslides and flash floods triggered by heavy rain. The Chief Minister said over 1,000 people were rescued from the Lahaul Valley. In Madhya Pradesh, a Bhopal court has awarded 10 years rigorous imprisonment to a member of the banned Students Islamic Movement of India, SIMI, for an attack on a police team in Ratlam district in 2011. Additional District Judge Girish Dikshit awarded the sentence to Farhat after convicting him under Section 307 of the Indian Penal Code, attempt to murder and the Arms Act. The police had arrested the accused along with another SIMI activist during a raid in Ratlam on 3rd June 2011 for allegedly murdering a police constable. The other activist escaped and was later killed in an encounter. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will address the 73rd session of the UN General Assembly in New York this evening. The general debate opened on Tuesday and will run till Monday. Mrs. Swaraj, who addressed the general debate last year as well, reached New York last Saturday and participated in several bilateral, plurilateral and multilateral meetings. Speaking at a SAARC meeting on the sidelines of the UNGA session, Mrs. Swaraj called for efforts to eliminate terrorism in all its forms. In the presence of her Pakistani counterpart Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Mrs. Swaraj said an environment of peace and security in South Asia is essential for cooperation and economic development. The SAARC grouping includes India, Pakistan and 6 other regional countries. Mrs. Swaraj also attended the meeting of foreign ministers of BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. She said the member states should speak with a stronger voice on the critical issue of achieving the long-pending UN Security Council reform. Commerce and Industry Minister Suresh Prabhu has said the upcoming visit of the President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, will be a transformative landmark visit that will mark a new chapter in bilateral relations. Mr. Prabhu was addressing a conference in New Delhi yesterday in the presence of Uzbekistan's Deputy Prime Minister Sukhrov Kholmuradov. The minister said India is conceptualizing a transport corridor which can be a very important link between Asia and Europe, for which Uzbekistan can serve as a major transit point. Mr. Mirziyoyev will arrive in New Delhi tomorrow on a 2-day visit. It will be his first visit to India. The visiting dignitary will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday. Facebook has reported a major security breach in which accounts of 50 million users were accessed by unknown attackers. The attackers stole digital keys called access tokens that the company uses to keep people logged in. Facebook said it had logged out owners of the affected accounts and 40 million others who were vulnerable to the attack. The social media giant added that it did not know who was behind the attacks or where they were based. Facebook's Vice President of Product Management, Guy Rosen, said neither passwords nor credit card data was stolen. However, the company has alerted the FBI and regulators in the US and Europe as third-party apps, including Instagram, could have been affected. The Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is proving to be a boon for the people of Karnataka. The scheme was launched with the aim of creating awareness of the banking system and making the neglected section of population self-reliant and self-dependent. Here is a ground report from a Dharwad correspondent.
State Bank of India Dharwad has disbursed Mudra loan of an approximate amount of 6.527 crore rupees to nearly 200 beneficiaries. On implementation of Mudra scheme, Satish Reddy, Deputy Manager, State Bank of India Dharwad, said that
the Mudra loan can be sanctioned to various group of people. They are repaying regularly also, and once they close the account after regular repayment, they are eligible for new loans.
Mahantesh Koti, a beneficiary of Mudra scheme, said that he availed Mudra loan, bought a vehicle and started earning. Now he is self-dependent and repaying the loan promptly.
जाके बैंक में इंक्वायरी किया, मुद्रा लोन में कोई भी उद्योग के लिए लोन देने को बोल दिया. हमारा ड्राइविंग काम था, हमें एक नया गाड़ी खरीद लिया. हमको ज्यादा से ज्यादा इसमें पैसे आ गया. वो बैंक में रीपेमेंट भी ऐसा ही चल रहा है.
Another beneficiary of Mudra scheme, Vinayak Panchannavar, said that Mudra Yojana is very beneficial for people.
मैं स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में मुद्रा योजना का लोन लिया कार का. हर मंथ हम जो गाड़ी चलाते हैं उसे हम लोन भरते हैं. इस योजना से सभी लोगों को बहुत लाभ हुआ है.
Mudra loan amount is being utilized efficiently for different purposes and there is prompt repayment. Arati Devashikhamani from AIR Dharwad.
President Ramnath Kovind will inaugurate the plenary session of Mahatma Gandhi International Sanitation Convention in New Delhi today. The 4-day international conference will bring together sanitation ministers and other leaders in WASH, water, sanitation and hygiene from across the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in India and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow morning. It will be the 48th episode of the monthly program. The program will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan at 11 a.m. In Madhya Pradesh, the first corn festival of the country is being held in Chhindwara from today. The festival is one-of-a-kind international event. Our correspondent reports that Madhya Pradesh is one of the largest corn-producing states in India, with Chhindwara being the highest corn-producing district.
This festival aimed to provide a platform where industries, government bodies and policymakers, researchers, entrepreneurs and students from across the country and world would come together to discuss and have dialogue with the farmers and other stakeholders. Industries excelled in the corn seeds, fertilizers, agriculture implements or corn-based products will exhibit their products and interact with other stakeholders, be it conventional use like animal feeds and textile or innovative products in packaging industry, pharmaceuticals, plastic bags. The demand for corn and its product is increasing rapidly. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In cricket, Team India has lifted the Asia Cup for a record-extending 7th time. In the final played at Dubai last night, the men in blue defeated Bangladesh by 3 wickets on the final ball of the match to successfully defend the title. A report.
It was a nail-biting seesaw encounter at Dubai, which ultimately went in favour of the men in blue, led by Rohit Sharma. Put into bat, Bangladesh got off to a flying start, but they lost way after the wicket of Mehdi Hassan. They slid from 120 for no loss to 222 all-out in 48.3 overs. Opener Liton Das scored 121, his maiden ODI century. Kuldeep Yadav bagged 3 wickets. In reply, India overhauled the target on the last ball after they needed 6 runs from the final over. Rohit top scored with 48, but it was the 54-run 4th wicket partnership between Dinesh Karthik and MS Dhoni and a 45-run 7th wicket stand between Ravindra Jadeja and Bhuvneshwar Kumar that got India through. Liton was named man of the match, while Shikhar Dhawan was adjudged player of the series. Sabi Hassan Khan, AIR News.
And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Ravi. Almost all newspapers lead today with Supreme Court's historic decision to allow women of all ages to enter the Sabrimala temple in Kerala. Another male bastion falls as Supreme Court opens Sabrimala to all women, is how the Times of India describes it. DNA leads with a banner headline highlighting the dissenting judge's opinion. Justice Indu Malhotra is sole voice of dissent in Sabrimala verdict. Court can't rationalize faith, belief. Another story that finds visibility on most front pages is the refusal of the Apex Court to interfere with the arrest of activists by Maharashtra police. Not a crackdown on dissent, says Supreme Court, is how the Hindu headline describes the decision. The Indian Express highlights the dissenting opinion of Justice Chandrachud with a headline, Can't muzzle voices in opposition. The Pioneer reports, Tariq quits NCP over Pawar's Modi defense. The paper adds that a senior leader of NCP clarified that Pawar had not given a clean sheet to anybody. Business Standard leads with the story of a move that may ease bond yields and pressure on liquidity under the headline, Government cuts gross borrowings by 70,000 crore rupees. The Pioneer says, Government forms group of ministers to mull new tax to raise calamity funds. A 7-member panel will examine modalities for raising additional revenue in case of natural calamities, the paper adds. In a story that highlights the increasing importance of digital campaigns, Hindustan Times reports, BJP plans a WhatsApp campaign for 2019 polls. Around 9 lakh cell phone pramukhs armed with cell phone will drive the party's WhatsApp-based campaign for the next parliamentary election, adds the paper. A DNA front page story highlights the dangers lurking in the digital world. Facebook, security breach affects 50 million. The paper reports that the company has fixed the breach which allowed a hacker to take over a person's account. And finally, while many newspapers have prominently carried pictures of the victorious Indian cricket team, DNA features a picture of a legendary boxer Mike Tyson, who is on his maiden visit to India. And with that, it's back to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Conference on Academic Leadership and Education for Resurgence in New Delhi this morning. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj to address the United Nations General Assembly in New York today. Government cuts gross borrowing estimate for current fiscal by 70,000 crore rupees. Centre releases first installment of 122 crore rupees to rain and snowfall hit Himachal Pradesh for immediate rehabilitation. And in cricket, India lift Asia Cup for the 7th time, beat Bangladesh by 3 wickets on the final ball. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.